Well, it's been a long old day, long weekend to be honest, but it's been very, very enjoyable. I've been working at my tackle shop, Ripper Tackle, which I run with my friend Jacob, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. We're starting the video up in crew at the tackle shop, but across the street right now, I've been given a van by a company called VanHaven who do the sickest conversions of transporters you've ever seen. I'm going to show you this van later. It's unbelievable, and they've given me this van for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go on a little road trip. My sister, she lives down in Cornwall. I'm going to go from Crewe all the way down to Cornwall, see my sister, fishing along the way, doing a bit of sea fishing when we get down there. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for it. So I'm going to wrap up in the shop, lock up, get over to the van, drive down to a little canal spot, do the night there before heading off down to Cornwall, fishing all along the way. It's going to be so much fun. Let's get into it. I pulled up on a lay-by next to a canal local to the shop. I'd never fished it before, but I've been tipped off about the place and been told that it did hold a few carp. I didn't have a clue how many or how big, but as long as it held carp, I felt like it was worth a go for the first night of the trip. I went for a walk down the stretch, walking from lock gate to lock gate. I didn't see anything other than a few small silvers, so I opted to fish directly out the van in the swim next to the lay-by. It was in the midpoint of the canal, so I'd have a good chance of intercepting passing fish, and it meant I could spend the night sleeping inside the van too. It was a mega late summer's evening, and it felt nice to be out on a mini adventure. You don't always have to go on massive trips abroad to experience an adventure. Your local canal can give you that exact same feeling of excitement. I used my 6-foot scope rods for this, as they are perfect for small canals, and decided to fish a couple of bright pop-ups over a small handful of boilies. I flicked the rods over to the far margin, followed by the bait, before sitting back in the comfort of the van. I really wasn't expecting much from this, perhaps a bream or two, but the sun had barely set when, to my surprise, I was into a fish.
Oh, a little canal common.
I was quite pleased that I managed to land a fish so quickly, even if it was only a common of around 8 or 9 pounds, but it was a start and it meant there were carp in the canal. I went on to land a few chub over the next hour or so before it all went quiet. That was until I received one final take in the early hours of the morning from a fish that felt much better than anything I'd hooked so far.
There we go. Get in there. It's a lovely carp. Come on. That'll more than do. Sick.
It wasn't my usual cup of victory coffee that following morning. With the luxury of the van, I was able to ditch the usual instant coffee I have on the bank and instead go for a capsule coffee from a machine. Not a bad way to start the day, and it was even better as I had a mega canal mirror waiting in the sling for pictures. Well then, how about this for a little canal stopover? Look at him. Decent size as well. £20 northern canal carp on a little stop off. We caught another little common as well. We caught a few chub. One of them was quite a big chub. But I will definitely take that for the first night in the van, first night of this road trip. What a stunning carp that is. Was not expecting that. Happy, happy days. Mega stuff. I've had my coffee already this morning. I'm ready to get on the road now. I'm going to slip him back and we're going to head not all the way to Cornwall but towards Cornwall, stopping off on the way and hopefully catching a few more mega carp just like this one. I'm well happy with that. What a start. With the fish returned, I loaded everything into the van and hit the road. I had a bit of a drive south towards Bristol where I was going to fish at Ham Green Lake. Alright my lovers, that was a Bristol accent for those who couldn't guess, because we're now in Bristol, a bit of a drive to get down here, and on the way I spoke to my friends from Catch and they said try out Ham Green Lakes. Now I've just got here, looks beautiful, but I've got to say it does feel like autumn. It's only the 1st of September today, so I guess it is the first day of autumn, but it feels very, very autumnal. I'm going to go for a little walk round. I think I'm fishing the bottom lake. I'm going to go, I think there's a bailiff hut on site. See, I don't really know anything about this place. I think there's a bailiff hut on site. I'm going to go there, see if the bailiff's in, ask him a little bit about the place, and we'll get rods out. I think we're going to do till about mid-morning tomorrow. Let's see if we can winkle one out. That would be great. Yeah, let's go give it a go.
Yeah, we took the kids down to the Portishead fairground and they won this little goldfish in a bag. That was 25 years ago. That's him now, tiger fish. He's just over £24.
Not bad at all, is it? Proper pet, that one.
Proper little pet thing, yeah.
With the bailiff kindly showing me some pictures of the stock and giving me a few pointers, I headed down to the downwall end of the lake as he said the quiet corner normally held a fair few fish. I crept into the swim and saw a few carp milling around the lily pads, so I decided to try and nick one straight away by doing a bit of floater fishing. I trickled in a few mixes and then proceeded to set up a simple free-line surface presentation. The fisher began feeding within the lilies, with a few better ones amongst them. I did my best to try and pick out a better fish and cast my free-line mixer into the area where they'd been feeding.
Ooh. He shot out of nowhere, that one. I'd just seen the big un feeding. And then this little ghosties popped out of nowhere. Oh mate, you were not the one I wanted, you little bleep. He shot up out of nowhere, this one. I was trying to catch the big un that I saw a big old mouth feeding. And this little ghosties popped up out of nowhere. You weren't the one I was after, mate. Come on in, you get. There we go. Well, Ham Green Lake, Bottom Lake, fish in the net. 10 minutes. Come on.
Well, I think this is going to look quite bright on this camera. The sun's beaming right down on me. How does he look? Yeah, he looks quite white, doesn't he? Not quite the one I was after. I saw a big dark mouth, probably mid-20, slurping down mixes. That's what I was going for. Took my eye off it for a second, looked back round, this mouth comes out of nowhere, slurps it down. We've got a first carp, like I said, not the one we were after. He's very lively, so I'm going to put him back. Bit of a pain to hold, but there we go, first one. 10 minutes of fishing, not bad at all. With the disturbance of the fish being caught, spooking the other carp in the area, I decided to fish a little further out with the rods on the deck. I used the baiting pole to fish accurately to an underhanging tree and another set of lilies a little further out. I then did my best to keep back from the swim to try and reduce any sound vibrations I may be transmitting into the water and potentially spooking the carp even further. Okay, 2 rods out on the deck now, and I think catching that fish, a bit of clanging around with the baiting pole, as quiet as I tried to be. There's obviously tapping and everything. I do think the fish in that corner probably moved off. There's a few lads who have come and fishing opposite as well, so I think there's quite a lot of disturbance there, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't catch anything till maybe just on dusk. We've probably got about 2 hours of daylight left, and it might take that long to get another bite, but there are definitely fish about. I think we've got a good chance of catching a few. Yeah, I just wish we caught that good mirror straight away. That was a nice fish. I saw its big mouth come up, slurping down mixers, and yeah, the little scamp of a ghosty got there first. But yeah, rods are out now, we're fishing. Bit of a waiting game. To stop myself from checking the rods every 2 minutes and disturbing the area even more, I decided to try and do a bit of editing work. The sunlight began to disappear and the bats came out on dusk, and to my surprise, I didn't receive a take. I cooked a bit of dinner before heading off to sleep, fully expecting to be woken in the night by a fish. Surprisingly, I woke the following morning with nothing to report other than a fair few liners. The fish were definitely still in the area. Perhaps there was something wrong with my rigs. I decided to redo the rods and sit back on them for another hour or so. I could see the fish were still in the area, but even the redrop didn't result in a take. Despite the poor weather conditions, I decided to have another go on the surface, and after throwing in a few mixes, fish began feeding again amongst the lilies.
Well, I've been fishing those lily pads all night, nothing, and I've thrown a few more mixes out, and there's a mouth coming up taking, a couple as well, so, I mean, I don't know how I've not caught one on the bottom, but it looks like with an hour to go till I need to leave, I'm going to catch one off the top, so, yeah, let's try and stalk a better one. The one yesterday, yeah, it's not the one we wanted, was it? So let's try and get a better one. Yeah. In the net. Nice. Get in there. Well, for whatever reason, I couldn't seem to get one on the bottom, so a bit of floater fishing resulted in this very old one. Look at him. He's got the head of a much bigger carp, and he looks ancient. So yeah, I think this is an old one. But yeah, lovely little send off. Let's get on the road now. Gonna get into North Devon next, I believe, where I'll be fishing at a place called, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, Hashmore, I believe it's called. But yeah, that's the next stop. So let's slip him back, get back in that van, and get on the road. Well, here we are in beautiful, beautiful Devon. I absolutely love it, this part of the world. Devon, Cornwall, I think it's the best places in England. Now, if I was here to go shooting, I think I've come to the right place. I only hit about 20 pheasant on the way down, but I'm not. I'm here for carp. I'm gonna go for a little walk round. There's a bunch of lakes here. There's a few people fishing here. I know that they work as a day ticket in the weekend, but a syndicate in the week. So I'm gonna go have a look round. There's a few people fishing here. I wanna make sure I don't get in their way or anything. They don't want me yorpsing around with the camera, disturbing their fishing. So I'm gonna go make sure I keep out people's way, bait a few spots, and see if we can catch some carp in here. There's some lovely ones in here, some 40 pounders, beautiful fish. So we've caught a couple of crusty mirrors so far from the Canal and the lake in Bristol. Now it's time to catch a big one. Let's do that.
Andy, the owner, headed down to show me around the venue. To be honest, there were good areas across all the lakes, and I felt a bit spoiled for choice. I baited a handful of areas across the lakes before heading back to the car park to collect my gear and try and tempt a bite from the area where I'd seen the highest density of fish. As stealthily as possible, I crept upon the fish that were only a few yards out in a quiet bay. I trickled in a tiny amount of bait, followed by a rig, praying I hadn't spooked the carp, before backing away from the spot in anticipation for a bite. I also dropped a rod in the swim next door using the baiting pole. Just as I got this rod in position, the weather began to turn and the heavens opened, and I sought shelter in the hut between the two swims for an hour or two whilst it absolutely lashed it down.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I think that rain has scuppered my chances a little bit. The fish, where I saw them earlier, were right close in. I think that rain just pushed them out. Maybe I spooked them. It is a small, intimate lake, and they do spook off sound like that, so maybe it's a bit on me, a bit on the rain, but it's getting on a bit now. We've probably got about an hour and a half of daylight left, and I don't want to do the night on this lake. I thought this was going to be my quick bite lake, but obviously that's not worked out. The lake, the top lake, is where I want to do the night, because I saw some fish there, I saw some nice ones in there, and I know that they're bigger in there. So I think I'm going to do the night there. I'm looking at the weather forecast, and from about midnight tonight until 2 o'clock tomorrow, it's going to absolutely pee it down. So I'm going to get up there, get everything sorted, start fishing. I already kind of know where I want to be fishing. Put a little bit of bait when I did the walk around with Andrew. I'm going to fish then and sit on the rods until that rain's gone tomorrow, and then head off to my next venue. So I'm hoping I can nick one from here. I'm going to give it another 45 minutes, and then we'll move up onto the top lake and get rods out. I've got to say, I do love this place. 4 lakes even, 4 lakes, all really cool, decent fish in here. Like, I think Andrew was saying there's nearly 130 pounders across the 4 lakes, which is really impressive. Some stunners as well. I've been looking at the Instagram, some epic fish. I've got to say, Andrew is an absolute gent. Did me the little walk round, just pointed out a few spots to me. So I'm hoping now I can just repay the favour and catch him one and show you guys the standard of carp in here. So yeah, we've got a bit of a plan. The plan so far hasn't gone to plan. We could have done with catching one, but we won't let it get us down. So yeah, gonna give it 45 more minutes here and then head up onto the top lake and do the night there. Right, the rods are out, about to get the bivvy set up. I think I'm going to be condemned to this now for at least 12 hours because it looks like it's going to absolutely tip it down tomorrow. But it could be a blessing in disguise. Small lakes, sometimes the best thing to do is get the rods out and leave them. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to leave them, hopefully, until they scream off with a big carp on the end. Right, night guys, I'll see you in the morning in the middle of a load of rain, I reckon. Honestly, it rained all last night, still raining now. Just didn't think I was going to get a chance. Here we go, fish on. Oh, I don't like the look of that. I've not felt anything for ages. There's carp in there. Oh, it's tiny. It's absolutely tiny, I don't believe it. Well, we've finally got a break in that biblical rain. It's still raining now, but we've got a bit of a break so we can show you this fish. Now, when the rod went off this morning, I was adamant I was going to catch a big fish. Weeded up, solid. I thought when it came in, that big bundle of weed, I'm going to see a massive common in there or something. No, this tiny, tiny little mirror. I think it's the smallest fish in here. It's a spawn on. It's a beautiful little fish. When it puts on 20, 25 pounds, it's going to look amazing. But for now, yeah, I kind of wish I caught a bigger one. I'm going to stick it out for a few more hours and just pray that I can get a chance for one of the bigger carp in here. There's so many nice fish in there. I'd love to catch one. Yeah, been a bit unlucky, I think. I should have caught one yesterday on the other lake, and the bite that I did get, yeah, he's this little fella, but can't complain too much. I'm going to slip him back, re-drop a rod because I've just seen a bit more fizzing, and hope in the next hour or so before I have to leave, I catch a bigger carp.
I carried on fishing for a few more hours, but with nothing to report other than plenty more rain. Eventually there was a little break in the weather, so I loaded up the van and headed off to my final destination before reaching Cornwall. Thankfully I had to come back to grab the camera after getting this shot, otherwise I think I would have lost my hat there. Thanks to Andrew for letting me fish at Hashmore. What a mega place it is, and I'll definitely be back to settle some unfinished business. I was back on the road again. Driving down roads became increasingly narrower and windier as I headed deeper and deeper into Devon. Before long, I was pulling up at one of the most recognisable fisheries in the UK, Angler's Paradise. On arrival, I met with Toby, the bailiff, who gave me a little tour of the main carp lake. I hadn't been fishing super prolifically, but a few decent fish had been coming out, and he showed me a few of the recent captures. My eyes were caught by a couple of insane mirrors that I wouldn't mind catching myself. After deciding on a swim, Toby very kindly offered to drive my gear down with the buggy. With the gear dropped off, we headed up to the bar for a look around at all the cool items that Zig, the owner, has collected over his life of angling adventures, as well as having a pint or two before I would refocus on the fishing.
You can't come to Angler's Paradise and not go to the bar. So I've had a couple of pints with Toby. I've had a shot of Sambuca for some reason, seen Zig. Now it's time to do what I've come here for, and that's go fishing. Sorry if I'm slurring my words a little bit. Like I said, I've had a couple of drinks. But I'm going to get down there now. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to flick some rods out, one in the margin, one to the island, set the bivvy up, get back, chill out. And I've got 2 nights here, which is nice. Everywhere I've fished so far, I've just had a quick overnighter. Now I've got 2 nights. So if I don't catch tonight, not the end of the world. But let's get some rods out tonight. I think we might nick one. When I was down there unloading the gear, I could see a few fish in the area. So I think we might nick one. But yeah, very nice. I love it down here. It's so nice, so iconic, so much history. Now let's catch a carp. Yes guys, good morning. Oh, I slept well. I slept like 10 hours there. I needed to catch up a little bit. But no carp. I had a couple clatter out in the night, I had a couple of liners on my rod to the island. But other than that, nothing. So the plan now is to get off my arse, go for a little walk, and see if I can find the carp. I have baited a spot close in, which I might fish tonight. But yeah, I did think I'd get one. There's a good number of fish in here. I don't think it should be too difficult, so I should probably have caught one. But yeah, I was quite surprised. I thought I would hear quite a few fish jump last night. There's been a lot of rain recently after a long summer. I thought I'd see quite a bit of fizzing this morning when I woke up. Not really seen too much, so I think I need to be a bit more proactive, go out, try and find an opportunity. And hopefully that'll do us a bite. Literally just coming to this swim and seen a big fish jump right out there. They're fizzing down here as well. So I want to move into this swim. It's not far, just around the corner. Move into this swim, get rods out. That's the plan.
I quickly jumped into the swim and got a rod out straight away on a solid bag, fished towards where I'd seen the fish fizzing. I thought this quick bite tactic would do the trick in tempting these somewhat wary carp. It isn't a rig I usually use, but I wanted to try something a bit more inconspicuous than the combi multi-rig I usually use for my bottom bait presentations, and I thought using a thinner 15-pound hook link that matched the colour of the lake bed would work well. I dropped the rod towards the island with the baiting pole where I'd seen the fish show, and it didn't take long until I received a take. Well, the move paid off. Just lost one. No! Rod pulled up tight, turned the GoPro on to record, instantly went out of charge. So my error. This is the problem with filming. Went to grab the camera to film it like that, playing it, line keeps going slack while I'm trying to grab other stuff, and yeah, lost the fish. Barbless hooks in it, like, Henry, unprepared for the filming. This is why filming is not good for your fishing, but I've got to do it. So, bit good about that. Moved onto the fizzers, dropped with the baiting pole. An hour later, got a bite, lost it. What a noddy. Get it back out, try again. Wow, what a funny old day it's been. Lots of showing in the morning when I moved round. Had that bite relatively quickly, lost it. I was messing around with the camera, I kicked myself. Yeah, and then since then, not a lot. They have started showing down to my right. I've just re-dropped a rod there. I've re-dropped my other rod. And I'm just hoping that we can get a fish. This trip started so well with that lovely one from the canal. But we still got, I can long it out tomorrow. So I've got a bit of time tomorrow, but I'm hoping to catch one through the night. I do love it down here, so cool, so nostalgic. When you go into the bar, see all the pictures of Matt Hayes when he used to come down here, you see all the different lakes and everything. Yeah, it's a cool venue, but I'd love to catch one. I've never done well down here, to be fair. There's so many lovely carp in here, so many lovely carp, but yeah, I just never seem to, came down here a couple of times before and never really caught anything, so yeah, hopefully this time it changes. So yeah, it's a beautiful evening. Gonna get into bed now, and hopefully I'm woken by the sonar fours. Whee! Big carp on the end. Right, see you guys in the morning. Nice one in the net. Come on. Oh, that's a lovely carp. That is a lovely carp. Come on. I'm buzzing with that. Good morning, guys. Great news. We caught one in the night. So happy, and it's a really sick one. Took a little while, but we managed to catch one of the gems from the main lake at Angler's Paradise, and yeah, couldn't be happier. So I'm gonna get it out now, show you, and then we're gonna get on the road. But absolutely buzzing to have caught one. Caught a nice one as well. We needed a big one. Yeah, happy days. Honestly, this fish looks better than it did when I landed it a couple of hours ago. It is ridiculous. Such a sick mirror. And now, you may say I'm telling porkies here, but when I moved into this swim, I stood here and I saw a fish show, and it came out to about its gill rake. It had mega scales on it. Come on, mate. Had mega scales on it, and I'm sure they were very similar to this one. Not saying it's the same fish, it could be though, which I think is very cool. I mean, look at him, wow. What a cool carp. Special fish. There's some unbelievable fish in this lake at Angler's Paradise and the specimen carp lake next door. I mean, I don't think I've fished very well, to be fair. I obviously lost that one. First night, I don't think I was in the right area, so I should have caught more. I do think I should have caught more, but eventually it's given me up one of its prizes, and just look at the state of that. What a sick fish. 31 pound of Angler's Paradise mirror carp. What an amazing creature. I'm looking at it from this side as well. It looks just as nice. Yeah, very cool fish. Buzzing to have caught that. Oh, get in there. Right, slipping back. Let's get back in that fantastic van. I'm going to go down and spend a few days with my sister in Cornwall, and we might do a little bit of fishing on the way back. For now, thank you so much, mate. Thank you, Angler's Paradise. Getting back, get on the road. With that mega mirror under my belt, I decided to head down to Cornwall without angling at the forefront of my mind. I was going to spend the next week enjoying time with my sister and her friends and making the most of being on our beautiful British coast. I tried a bit of surfing, which I really enjoyed and is definitely something I'll be doing more of in the future. I think those types of outdoor adventures are something that us carp anglers can really appreciate, and I was certainly loving it, although I've got a bit of work to do on the surfing before I'll be putting any video evidence out there. I also made the most of having such a cool van, and I was especially loving pulling up along the stunning coastline and camping there overnight. Morning. How about this for a view? I've got sunrise on one side, full moon on the other.
looking directly out on the sea. Absolutely love this van now. The reason I've got this van is the guys at VanHaven very kindly messaged me and asked if I wanted to take it for a month. Obviously, I said yes. Now VanHaven, I didn't really know much about them, but they do these custom van conversions, really high level, like not just putting a bed in there or anything. They do these really high level van conversions for the transporters. And I went to their warehouse, checked out what they were doing. They've got some sick things on the go. They've got fishing specific ones as well, where they've got these kits for fishing. How lucky am I that they've offered it for me for a few weeks to take down to Cornwall and use my fishing. But yeah, it's incredible. Let me give you a proper tour of it. So obviously you've got the roof rack up there. I've got my surfboards on at the minute. You open up the back here, and this is the sleeping arrangement. So right now the bed's down, so that's where I've been sleeping. It's basically a double bed, but you can have it with the 5-seat option as well, where part of that bed comes up, it creates a backboard, and then you've got the seating in there. The seats are obviously really nice, like brownie leather, and again you can customise it however you want. I've got a little bit of storage in the back here. I've got my some of my fishing gear, and then on the other side we've got the fridge with the coffee machine, the power. Honestly, this is just complete luxury compared to what I'm used to. The seats in the front, they also turn around. You can use them like desk chairs, pop a little desk out. Honestly, I can't go over how nice these things are. And like I said, you can customise them completely. So if there's something you want to change about it, you want to have it specific for yourself, for your fishing, maybe you would have another hobby that you want to have the van for, the guys at VanHaven can definitely sort you out. You've got the big awning on the front that comes out. There's so much they can do with this. And this is just their general like adventure vehicle, they call it. And this is the one that they're going to give out to lots of lucky people like me in different niches to make different videos for, just to showcase how incredible these vans are. I'm sure a lot of you are going to say, of course you're going to say it's amazing, you've just been given it for a couple of weeks. Now I genuinely can say I've never been given such a beautiful van that's been so practical and so helpful for what we wanted to do. I basically lived in it for a couple of weeks, had all my fishing gear in there, never felt uncomfortable, been surfing in it, as you can see up there. I've gone on a big road trip for it, and like I said, you can completely customise it for your own lifestyle. So they're called VanHaven. Like I said, if you guys want to check them out, I'll put the link in the description. Right, what I'm going to do today, bit of surfing, bit of fishing maybe. Yeah, let's go have a bit of adventure, have a bit of fun.
I spent the day surfing followed by a bit of fishing. I went out on a little explore with the lures, and I loved the freedom of scrambling around the rocks looking for a decent area to chuck some sandy or lures to try and catch some bass.
Get fish on. Come on, what is this going to be? Please be a bass, baby. Please be a bass. I think it is. Come on. Oh. Yes, it is. That is my first ever bass, ladies and gentlemen. Get in there. Haha, unbelievable. Lovely stuff. That's sick. Number 2. This is sick.
After a day of fishing, I joined my sister and her friends for a campfire before I headed home the following morning. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider dropping me a like and a sub, and I hope to see you in the next video.